Dually, 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 dually. It's time to work on the dually. Dually, 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 dually. Yee. Yee. Should I get my title?
I love my big dump truck. I love my big dump truck so much.
Don't you just miss the sound of freedom, brother? All that freedom. God dang.
We're gonna work on the dually today. I gotta take her to the shop. Gonna go put some stuff in her. I was thinking about doing like a 5.3 Vortex swap on her. Little 5.3s, them will eat, them will go. Now today we gotta work on the dually, and this morning I woke up to use the bathroom like I normally do. Dropped a big old log, obviously. Woke up this morning, we didn't have any water. Don't know why, but living at this house has been an absolute nightmare. Everything's gone wrong, everything's broken. Nothing's been easy. But hey, beggars can't be choosers. Life's what you make it. Oh, on a side note, you know how I filled up the tank like months ago with the, like last year, I think it's got a 60-gallon tank? Yeah, I'm not even at half a tank from that fill up yet. I just passed a quarter of a tank, so I think this tank's gonna last me quite a while. I mean, I don't know if I should just let diesel sit for that long, but I'm sure it's better than gasoline. Also, I don't know if I mentioned this, but my buddy Jamie, who works at ACW, he was looking at my engine because we both have Duramaxes. I think he's like a 2012, 2014, so it's the generation before mine. I don't know what that is. I know there's like LML or LBL. He knows about these trucks a lot more than I do, and he was looking at the engine. He's like, dude, you got a bigger turbo. I was like, what? And he goes, yeah, you got an upgraded turbo. I go, no shit. And he goes, yeah, that's why it sounds so fucking different. I was like, that makes sense. I mean, come on, right? Are we not excited about this? Yo, the response on this thing being back has been beyond, like, hype. And I am beyond hyped to continue working on this thing. And you're like, yeah, you're probably almost done, right? And I'm like, no, I have a bunch more shit I gotta do to it. And I'm gonna go over some of it real quick before we get into today's video, but I gotta tell you guys something. One thing that everyone's always told me is like, Dan, get merch. You know, you don't sell enough, you don't have merch, your merch sucks, or you don't have very much merch available, which I don't, I never have before. Well, fucking shut up, because now I have some dope new t-shirts and stuff available on Bunker Branding. I've got a link in the description. You remember how it hurt my back? It put me down for like a solid week. And I couldn't really do much except play on the computer. So I sat down myself and designed these 9 designs by myself. Like, these are all my designs, which I think is really cool because not a lot of creators do that. A lot of creators have other people create artwork for them, which I've done several times in the past. But this time I was like, dude, I want to create my own lineup, something that I feel like represents me, like the shit that I like and like my styling. And I know it's probably not gonna be everyone's stuff, but I'm fucking excited to release this stuff. They just went live. I don't even have my own copies yet because like they literally just went live today. They haven't had a chance to print them yet. So you can click on the link in my description if you want these t-shirts and stuff like that, and they directly support me. They directly support the builds and getting shit done. I will have some more designs coming very soon. This is just my particular spring lineup, right? And they're only gonna be available for a short time until I do my summer line and then my fall. So every couple of months, I'm gonna redesign my entire brand logo. They're all gonna be limited time stuff. So get them while you can, guys. It helps directly support the channel, helps directly support the build, and I appreciate the people over at Bunker Branding, Matt from Demolition Ranch, Stephanie from Bunker Branding helping me get all this stuff done. We've been working really hard at it, so thank you guys very much. I appreciate the love and support, and if you want to love and support me some more and you want some cool designs for your t-shirts, go pick them up in the description. Now that I've done like my shameless plugging out of the way, I do have a bunch of work I need to do. So I can talk about all the stuff that I need to do. I think what I really want to do is just start working on stuff. First things first, one of the things that I noticed after I got the truck back is how nasty. I should have done this way long ago, but the rails of the seat are just really freaking nasty. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull those seats out because I need to go ahead and pull out the carpet as well, because my buddy Alex is finishing up the rear seats that I'm having made, the custom captain's chairs that are gonna match these bad boys, these nice diamond stitching. But since I'm switching from the bench seat that's normally back here to the individual chairs, I'll probably have to do custom mounts on the floors, which means I probably have to do some grinding and welding. So I'm gonna pull the chairs out, pull the passenger and driver seats out, pull the carpet out, because I also have a leak. I found a leak, a water leak. I don't know where it's at, but I need to pull the carpet out so I can figure out where that's at too. So there's a bunch of like little stuff we need to do. But before I pull out the seats, because they have airbags in the seats, I need to disconnect the battery before I disconnect the clips, because otherwise it might go off. So I'm gonna go do that. Shit, I should have slid the seat up first. You know, I've done this before. You'd think I'd have learned by now. Ugh, sound. Ugh, we gotta clean those rails up good. Now the passenger. All right, let's take a gander and see if any of this is salvageable. I'm gonna have to really clean these and paint them. I also want to see if I can figure out why my driver and passenger heating elements aren't working. The cooling will work, like so it blows air through the seats, but the heater doesn't work. And it's on both seats, which leads me to believe it's probably a fuse issue. Maybe the individual who owned the truck before me was like, I live in fucking Texas, I'll never need heated seats, and then disabled them. All right, let's get to work on some of this dirt. I'm not gonna try to save the whole world or anything like that, but a little bit of this metal rescue stuff from PB should make this really easy. I'm also gonna grease up the tracks with their white lithium grease and stuff like that too. All right, so I've done a couple of coats of the undercoat on these seats. They're drying, which is good. I'd still like to do one more before I leave for the afternoon. Now I'm also coming over here and looking underneath my jute, and it seems like you can tell where there's been moisture down in this crack here, which is where all these wires run, so that makes me nervous. So I don't want that shit to happen. And I'm pretty positive the leak is coming from somewhere back here, because that's where the water is, most of it anyway. It looks like there might have been some moisture up here, so the leak might be coming from behind the jute here somewhere. All right, so while those seats are drying, because I just got done cleaning them all up, I'm gonna go ahead and pull the carpet back and some of the jute and see if I can figure out where the leak's coming from. Now, we did get some water, but I don't feel like it's rotten anything yet. It didn't have long enough to do that. I do want to pull up these wires though, because they are exposed where all the water is, and I'm gonna just double check to make sure that they're not too saturated. All right, so I got this glass of water. I'm gonna start pouring it along the seams and see if I can figure out what's causing the leak. Might have our problem. Might have figured it out. Ha! It does appear that that's what it was. Looks like it was pouring through this vent right here. I think this is a pressure equalizer vent. I think so when you close the door, it helps like regulate the vacuum pressure inside the car to the outside. But it appears that it's leaking. If that's the only leak, I'll just hit it with a little RTV and seal that shit up. Oh yeah, look at it go. You see it, I don't know if you guys can see the water pouring in, but that's where the water's coming from. All right, so before I hit that with any silicone, I might as well just go ahead and pull out the whole jute padding and clean that up because it's still covered in dust from when I bought it. But that's okay. It's just work. Actually, you know what? I got some sound deadening. I might put that in while I'm at it. All right, now I gotta clean it. I have a bunch of stick-on soundproof noise suppressing foam for a car. I originally bought this for the 73 when I was doing that. I still am gonna do that to 73, but it's gonna be a little bit before I do that, and this stuff was pretty cheap, so I might as well do it while I have the truck taken apart now. So I can do the floors, I can do this back piece before I put the jute back on, and I might even, well, I might not do the roof. I don't know if it would hold up with the heat, but yeah. Ugh. Before I put the padding on, I'm gonna go ahead and caulk this little corner over here and call this little vent good. All right. That corner's silicone. I'm literally just gonna start adding I've never done this before, so if I do it wrong, don't yell at me, internet. But I'm just gonna start sticking this stuff where it'll kind of fit. I have no idea if this is gonna make any difference, but I'm not worried about it looking beautiful because it'll all be covered up, obviously. It's also a random brand, Noiso. I found it on Amazon, it was pretty cheap. That's gonna make a big difference, I feel like. Now, I would go ahead and do the floor, but like I said, I know I have to do those 2 seats, and I don't know what I'm gonna have to cut or weld to make sure that those fit. So I'm gonna wait to do the floor until after I've done my cutting and welding. All right, these wire channels are now nice and clean. They were really dirty before, but I was able to get in, get them out. I even washed the plastic channels as best I could. Even then, that sandy, that silky sand that comes from Texas, all that like really fine powdery sand and dirt, that's stuck in every fucking crevice of this truck, and I can't get it out. I'm doing my absolute best, and I've made huge progress with this floor, but I'm afraid that's about as good as I'm gonna be able to do it. I really am. I also got these clips in nice and tight. These look good. And now that I have the back seats out and I have everything kind of spaced out, what I like to do is I take reference photos for me to go and work with later. I like to draw and design how I want everything to look in here. It's gonna sound ridiculous, but I'll come in here, like my phone's got a super wide angle lens, right, just like my camera. So I'll just come in here and I'll just take a quick photo, maybe a little bit more centered. Then I'll do the same from this direction, so I have an idea of how I want it to look in here. Then I'll go back on my drawing tablet and kind of design stuff. Or if I'm feeling like really lazy and on the fly, I'll do it on my phone. So I'll just pull up one of my photos here that I took, right? And I like this because I have my little stylus. I know people make fun of me all the time. Like, yeah, dude, I can't believe you actually use your stylus. Yeah, I know. Then after I have it up here, what I like to do is I'll just kind of start drawing. That way I can draw directly onto my photo that I've taken, and everything kind of look proportionally. You know what I'm saying? Because now I don't have to go recreate it in the program and try to get my dimensions looking right, because I never will because of who I am as a person. But what I can do is I can go ahead and start drawing my center console in here, right? And that's just kind of how I do things. I'm not going to full-blown do the design here because this is awkward as fuck for me to hold the camera like this. But you get the idea. It's actually how I started doing a lot of the design work for the ambulance. All right, so that's where I'm gonna end today's video, mostly because I have a lot of other stuff I need to do, but I won't be working on this thing for the next couple days. So I wanted to go ahead and get a video out working on it again. I could probably pump out a bunch of short videos like this with the dually as often as I needed to, but the way I was doing stuff before with the dually, I was doing like 30, 40, 50-minute videos, and that's what people seem to like. So I don't want to do continuously short videos like this, but it's just kind of what I had to do because I've been recovering from a back injury that's been taking up a lot of my time. Working it into my schedule while working on the ambulance and stuff like that. I need to take that into consideration. And tomorrow I got my buddy Tim from Icon coming over. He's gonna install the scissor doors on the Corvette, so I'm really looking forward to that. I'm gonna do one more coat on the seats here before I leave as well. Now the biggest thing that I'm waiting on is the rear seats. As soon as these two rear seats get done, I'm gonna start building the center console for this thing. The center console will go all the way from the middle, all the way to the back wall. Like I said, it's gonna have TVs in it, probably a console for playing Xbox or something while we're on the go, a power inverter so you can power all those things. Big stuff. I was even thinking about a refrigerator, like a small cooler, so we could keep drinks and stuff cool while we're road tripping. And I was thinking about putting it up here close enough to the driver's seat and passenger seat, so that way if it's just Laura and I, we don't have to worry about someone being in the back. We can just reach and grab them ourselves right then and there. So I gotta build a pretty big, pretty dope ass center console, which means I'll probably have to do some pretty fun work on that. But I gotta talk to you guys about one idea that I've had. I've been talking about it for a little while, and I think the reason why the door panels are off in the rear right now is because right before I sent it back to Magnum to do the last couple of things, I was thinking about doing the door panels in black. Right. So I got the door panels over there. They're like a dark brown and a tan color. But obviously one of the things I redid in the truck was having the seats redone. They were a black and tan, which means that realistically the only purple stuff now anymore are the door panels and the dashboards, right? It's that dark, like brownish purple. And it's not really my color. Not a big fan of it. So I've really been thinking about dyeing it black, right? I've got some spray dye. I really think that I could dye this and it would blend into, I'd keep this the same color, but blend this black, and then maybe wrap this a different color or something like that, or paint this, and you know, jazz it all up, put lights in it, stuff like that. But that leaves me with the dashboard, which is the whole fucking thing's purple, right? So that means that I could do a couple of things. Pull the whole dashboard out and then dye it that way, which sounds like a big pain in the ass. Or I could try to do it with it still in the truck. And I don't know, I've never done dashboard dye, but I think I could probably pull out all these little plastic pieces or cover them up at least. I just don't know. And I know that pulling this dashboard apart is probably gonna be pretty suck. I mean, it doesn't look fun. It looks really unfun. That was easy though. Yeah, I could probably just pull these panels off. You know, I think I want to swap this out for that big 12.5-inch display anyway. So maybe that's what I'll do. I'll just pull all the panels off, tape everything else off, and just try to dye it with it still in the truck. But you guys still have time to tell me if that's a dumb idea, because I haven't done that yet. So if anybody's had any experience dyeing dashboards, let me know what you think in the comments about that. But like I said, guys, that's where I'm gonna end today's video. Thank y'all for watching. I'm so happy to have the dually back. I mean, just look at it. Just look at it. What a big dumb truck. I love everything about my big dumb truck.